June 2024's biggest stories you won't believe. Number 1. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're counting down the top 5 most shocking global news stories from June 2024. From record-breaking temperatures to glimmers of hope in the global economy, this month has been a roller coaster. We'll unpack the details, analyze the implications, and try to make sense of it all. Stay tuned to find out which story tops our list. Earth on fire, global temperature records shattered. June 2024 will be remembered for the scorching heat waves that swept across the globe, affecting millions of lives and ecosystems. We're talking record-breaking temperatures, folks. The kind of heat that shatters previous records and sets new, alarming benchmarks. The kind that doesn't just make you sweat, it makes you question the future of our planet. It's a wake-up call that we can no longer ignore. The UN has issued a stark warning. This is a code red for humanity. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. Scientists are pointing to human activity, specifically the burning of fossil fuels, as the primary driver of this alarming trend. Our reliance on coal, oil and gas is pushing the planet to its limits. The evidence is overwhelming: rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and now these unprecedented temperatures. The signs are all around us. This isn't just about uncomfortable summers, it's about the very survival of our species. The heat waves are a symptom of a much larger problem. We're talking about mass displacement, food shortages, and conflicts over dwindling resources. The ripple effects of climate change are far-reaching and devastating. The UN is urging immediate and drastic action to curb emissions and transition to renewable energy sources. The time for half measures is over. The message is clear: we need to act now or face the consequences. Every moment of inaction brings us closer to irreversible damage. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is still hope if we act swiftly and decisively. There are glimmers of hope. Communities around the world are coming together to demand change and take action. Renewable energy is becoming increasingly affordable and accessible. Innovations in technology are making it easier to transition away from fossil fuels. Governments and corporations are starting to take notice and implement sustainable practices. Policies are being put in place to reduce carbon footprints and promote green energy. The question is, will it be enough? Will these efforts be sufficient to turn the tide? Will we act in time to avert the worst-case scenarios? The stakes have never been higher. This is the defining challenge of our generation, and the clock is ticking. We must rise to the occasion. We need to hold our leaders accountable, demand change, and make conscious choices in our own lives to reduce our environmental footprint. Every action counts. The future of our planet depends on it. Together we can make a difference and ensure a livable world for future generations. A glimmer of hope, global economy shows signs of life. In a surprising turn of events, the global economy has shown signs of stabilization, according to the World Bank. After a period of uncertainty and volatility, growth projections are looking more optimistic. This is welcome news for many countries struggling with inflation, rising interest rates, and supply chain disruptions. The World Bank attributes this positive trend to a number of factors, including easing inflation, government stimulus packages, and a resurgence in consumer spending. However, it's not all smooth sailing. The recovery is uneven, with some regions experiencing robust growth while others lag behind. The war in Ukraine continues to cast a shadow over the global economy, disrupting energy markets and fueling inflation. The World Bank cautions that significant challenges remain, including rising debt levels, geopolitical tensions, and the ongoing threat of climate change. They emphasize the need for continued policy support and structural reforms to ensure a sustainable and inclusive recovery. So, while this news provides a much-needed dose of optimism, it's important to remain cautious. The global economy is still navigating choppy waters, and the road ahead remains uncertain. Chapter 3. Haiti in crisis, a nation gripped by violence and despair. The situation in Haiti continues to deteriorate, with escalating gang violence and a deepening humanitarian crisis. The streets, once bustling with life and commerce, now echo with the sounds of gunfire and cries for help. The country is in the grip of a vicious cycle of poverty, instability, and violence, leaving its people trapped in a desperate struggle for survival. Families are torn apart, and children grow up knowing only fear and uncertainty. Armed gangs control vast swathes of the capital, Port-au-Prince, and other major cities, terrorizing citizens with impunity. These gangs operate like shadow governments, imposing their own rules and exacting brutal punishments on those who defy them. Kidnappings, extortion and murder have become commonplace, creating a climate of fear and insecurity. People are afraid to leave their homes and businesses are shuttered, further crippling the economy. The Haitian government, weakened by corruption and political instability, has been unable to rein in the violence or provide basic services to its people. The lack of effective governance has only emboldened the gangs, making the situation even more dire. The healthcare system is on the brink of collapse, with hospitals lacking essential supplies and medical personnel. Doctors and nurses are overwhelmed, and many have fled the country, leaving those who remain to cope with an impossible situation. The international community has responded with humanitarian aid, but it's a drop in the ocean compared to the scale of the crisis. Food, water and medical supplies are desperately needed, but the aid often struggles to reach those who need it most due to the pervasive violence. The UN has called for a coordinated international effort to address the root causes of the violence and support Haiti's long-term stability. This includes not only immediate humanitarian assistance, but also long-term development projects to rebuild the nation's infrastructure and economy. The situation in Haiti is a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and instability. Every day, lives are lost and the social fabric of the nation is further torn apart. It's a call to action for the international community to step up and provide meaningful support to the Haitian people in their hour of need. The world cannot turn a blind eye to the suffering in Haiti. It is a moral imperative to act and help restore hope and stability to this beleaguered nation. Chapter 4, Inferno in India. Explosives factory blast claims dozens. Tragedy struck an explosives factory in India this month, leaving dozens dead and many more injured. The massive explosion ripped through the facility, sending shockwaves through the surrounding area. The cause of the blast is still under investigation, but early reports suggest a failure in safety protocols may have played a role. The factory, located in a densely populated area, has been the subject of previous safety concerns. This horrific incident highlights the importance of stringent safety regulations in hazardous industries. It's a stark reminder that cutting corners on safety can have devastating consequences. The Indian government has launched an inquiry into the incident and pledged to hold those responsible accountable. However, for the families of the victims, no amount of justice can bring back their loved ones. This tragedy serves as a wake-up call for governments and industries around the world to prioritize worker safety and prevent such disasters from happening again. Chapter 5. A Step Towards Peace. International Arms Control Conference delivers. In a significant development for global security, the International Arms Control Conference concluded with a robust outcome document marking a pivotal moment in international diplomacy. This landmark agreement aims to curb the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and strengthen international arms control mechanisms, setting a new standard for global cooperation. The conference, attended by representatives from over 100 countries, addressed pressing issues such as nuclear disarmament, the Arms Trade Treaty, and the use of autonomous weapons systems. These discussions were crucial in laying the groundwork for future policies. After weeks of intense negotiations, the participating nations reached a consensus on a set of concrete measures to address these challenges. The negotiations were marked by a spirit of collaboration and mutual understanding. The outcome document includes provisions for increased transparency in arms transfers, enhanced verification mechanisms for nuclear weapons treaties, and a commitment to pursue negotiations on a legally binding instrument to prohibit autonomous weapons systems. These measures are designed to build trust and ensure compliance. This agreement represents a significant step forward in the pursuit of global peace and security. It is a testament to what can be achieved when nations come together with a common purpose. It demonstrates the international community's shared commitment to addressing the threats posed by weapons of mass destruction and conventional arms. The unity displayed at the conference is a hopeful sign for the future. However, the true test of this agreement lies in its implementation. The success of these measures will depend on the dedication and cooperation of all involved parties. The international community must now work together to ensure that these commitments are translated into concrete actions. Continuous dialogue, monitoring and enforcement will be key to achieving the goals set forth in the agreement. Looking ahead, future conferences will be essential in maintaining momentum and addressing new challenges as they arise. The journey towards a safer world is ongoing, and this conference is a significant milestone on that path. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates on global news. The world is constantly changing, and it's more important than ever to stay informed about the events shaping our future. From climate change to economic uncertainty, from humanitarian crises to breakthroughs in global security, we'll continue to bring you the stories that matter, because knowledge is power, and together, we can make a difference. See you next time.